welcome to Trust Talks. This is Tama Kieves. I'm so excited to have you here. This is bite-sized interviews, brilliant perspectives with brilliant people. I'm so grateful to get to play with different amazing people in the world and to bring them to you. I'm the author of Learning to Trust Yourself, and that's all about unlocking the inner genius that's in you, transforming your life, and living your exceptional life. And if you're familiar with my work at all, you know that I'm always going to tell you to listen to yourself, to listen to that inner genius in you, not the voice of fear, to listen to something sweeter, deeper, more alive, more passionate. And that's why I am so excited to share with you today Matt Rowe. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about him because he has a really, really amazing story that I think is going to just be very inspirational for all of us, just the bite-sized wisdom here. So let me just, his story is just inspirational. I'm just going to read the bio. You don't even have to hear him talk. I had the pleasure of hearing him talk. But even if you didn't hear him talk, just listening to about him like blew me away. So I want to share this with you. So I'm going to look at it just so that I don't miss any details here. And I'll just do a little summation here. So Matt Rowe is just amazing. Just look at him. He's amazing, right? But okay, we'll get to that. And he's the author of Belief to Heal, and you can find out all about him. We're going to have a resource guide. He's also a certified health coach. He's a healer, a skilled meditation teacher. But let me tell you a little bit about his story that you're going to want to know. After achieving the status of an all-American triathlete, that alone blew me away. We could have just stopped there. But anyway, after achieving the status of an all-American triathlete, he faced the devastating challenge of having his right leg paralyzed. Then, through sheer determination and belief, he healed himself from this paralysis to complete the grueling Ironman triathlon. So stay with me here. Can you imagine? He's healed himself from a paralyzed leg and competes in the triathlon. But then he later on in life, a few years later, gets diagnosed with primary progressive multiple sclerosis. And he's told that in less than a year, he's going to be in a wheelchair, right? Can you imagine this incredibly devastating news, especially for an athlete? And through his own work, through his own healing, through his own working with himself, trusting himself, listening to his inner voice, he's able today to be symptom-free and also to begin reversing the damage MS has caused. So I'm excited to talk to you, Matt. I really am. I'm just like, tell us a little bit about how maybe trusting yourself, like, or the relationship with yourself, causes, I'll just say something quickly, like one of the concepts in my book, Learning to Trust Yourself, is when you change the relationship with yourself, everything changes. And I get that that's what you did because I know a little of your story. So share with us a little bit about trusting yourself or anything.
Absolutely. And Tama, thank you so much for this introduction. And thank you, everybody, for watching this today. Tama, you are such a beacon of beautiful, loving light. And thank you for this beautiful opportunity. So yes, that aspect of trusting myself. Now let's go back a little bit. In 2021, I remember the day at my lowest point. Now imagine this, Tama. MS is in full swing. I'm trying to heal my body. I'm trying everything I can, but the symptoms are relentless. They're constant. But what that does is it pulls my own love away and it pulls my trust away. And it's leading me on to the road of fear, which is anger, shame, guilt, depression, judgment, and all the things that pulls me away from who I really am. And at this time, my ex-wife asked me for a divorce after a 21-year marriage. And I remember where I was staying at the time, there was a river. I was very fortunate. There was a river running in the back of the house.
Good to have a river next to you if you're having a tragedy and a meltdown. It's always good to have a river somewhere.
Absolutely. The universe guided me and goes, okay, I know you're going to be at a dark point right now. Let's bring this river for you so you can meditate next to it. So I am at this point, I'm a meditation practitioner. So I am meditating and I am truly trying to release and trust and go through that entire moment. Then the moment happened as I sat there. As loud as I am talking to you right now, a voice came from within me. And I can't ever describe this. I know other individuals may have experienced this moment, but it's like a voice talking to me. And all it said was, Matt, you can approach the rest of your life with anger, shame, guilt, depression, judgment, fear, and worry. Or you can choose joy and love. It
Wow.
is your choice.
Wow.
And then the voice went away. And I didn't know what to make of it. I mean, at this point, I'm by the river and I'm thinking about the ultimate exit.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about, what does my life have purpose anymore?
Yes.
Why am I even here?
Yes.
But in that moment, when I heard that, I surrendered
Mm,
and
mm,
I
mm,
chose joy and love. And I
mm.
had no idea what that meant. I'd gone the 20 years prior, that like for the last, I would even say longer, 30 years prior to that moment, not trusting myself,
Wow.
thinking I had to be a specific way. Even while I raced triathlon and was
Mm,
competitive,
mm-hmm.
it was not for me. It
Mm.
was for my ego. It was for me to show everybody, oh, yes, I'm not the fat kid I grew up with.
Yeah.
I am this, I am that. But I kept trying to put a different identity and a different label to
You, I, you,
myself through
you
the
just make
process.
such a good point there. I'm just going to pause just for a second because it's such a good point
Mhm.
where a lot of times we're not trusting ourselves because we're trying to prove something or
Yes.
we're trying to not be something that we think we were. So we're just in automatic reaction to it instead of just trusting ourselves, right? Is always like coming back to our true selves, coming back to who we really
Yes.
are, who we've meant to be. So you hear this voice. Oh my God, that's a trusting yourself right there, right? Because you didn't go, great, I have MS, and now I'm also crazy.
No, and now I'm hearing things.
Now I'm hearing things. What the hell? At least
But
it's the
the
river.
biggest aspect was surrender.
Yes.
I needed to surrender to anything I thought I wasn't.
Wow.
Everything that I thought I was, the ego and the labels that I had put upon myself.
Mm-hmm.
I needed to surrender to the unknown.
Ah.
I stepped over that space,
Yes. Yes.
and it was the space of the unknown.
Yes. So
And
how
it
did
was
so
just,
tell like just like how did doing this and trusting yourself like help you to heal? I mean, so you're surrendering and like just that's a huge moment. It's a great moment.
I surrendered to healing.
Mm,
I no longer desired all the desires I had of the past to be successful, to have me married, to have kids, and all of this stuff. Now I do have two great kids,
yeah.
but I had to surrender to raising them.
Hmm.
I had to surrender to everything.
Wow. And
And
again,
when I vowed joy and love, that was the emotion, that was the state of being I needed to surrender to. I needed to trust myself that I would make it through.
yes. Yes. And I love what you're saying here because it's such a valuable point, which is that, again, when I'm really surrendering to healing, when I'm really trusting myself or trusting that light or trusting
Mm.
God or trusting whatever it is that we believe in, it's
Yes.
letting go, right? It's letting go of,
Mhm.
I might be letting go of a marriage. I might be letting go of a career. I might be letting go of the form of the life I think I'm supposed to have. I'm
Ah,
inviting
very.
the essence and the
Yes.
juice, right? I'm letting
Mhm.
go of the forms and I'm letting this deeper divine intelligence within me decide what form is going to best express that healing.
Absolutely. You said something very important. The form that
Thank God.
I think my little self
Yes.
thinks it needs to be. Now, we have the ultimate power over God, source, universe, whatever you think. We have free will,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
but with that free will comes doubt,
Yes. Mm.
fears,
Yes.
worry. Did I do enough? Did I go this way? As I started to write my book, there were
Mm.
a lot of fears. I'm not a writer.
Mm.
And that little voice that we all have within us goes, yeah, you're not a writer, man. You
Yeah.
were never very good in
I
English
can heal, I
classes.
can heal my body from what medical science says. I can reverse the
Right.
laws of reality, but I don't know if I could write.
I don't know if I can do that. So it took that surrendering in
Right.
that moment to
Mm,
constantly return to love.
hmm.
And I could follow this, and it was a learning within there. And I'm
Hmm.
still learning, and I'll be learning my entire life
Yes.
that the feeling that you feel, do I
Mm,
feel good
hmm.
about this decision, or do I feel, like bad about it?
Hmm.
Is there a worry? Why is there a worry?
Mm.
Is that worry truly me? Is that really then asking that question, who
Being
am I?
conscious, being conscious. I'm just come
Yes.
back for 1 second because I'd really love to
Mhm,
know, like, I'm sure there are people who are, dealing with some kind of condition in life. Maybe it's a medical
mhm,
condition, maybe it's a situation in their life about their job. There's a fact, right? The
mhm.
doctor factually said this. My numbers
Yes.
factually show this. How did you go? How did you trust something inside you to heal? To go beyond the facts or the static reality that we think we live in. I'm curious.
That is a lot of trust. But I'd like you to imagine it this way. We are all flowing down a river of health.
Hmm.
Now, on the left side of this river, it's dark, lightning is striking, not very inviting, somewhere where you wouldn't want to be. We're going to call the left side of this river fear.
Hmm. Mm.
It's an emotion, a very strong emotion. It's an umbrella emotion that has anger, shame, guilt, depression, frustration, doubt, despair, all of that.
Hmm.
And when you step out of the doctor's office and the doctor looks at you and says, "You're 6 months from a wheelchair. There is no cure to primary progressive multiple sclerosis. There's nothing you can do. And you're going to see this progression." So now the doctor's put the nocebo effect within me.
Hmm.
In
Yes.
a moment.
Yes.
Do
Yes.
I trust the doctor?
Yes.
Do
Mm.
I trust what the doctor says? Or do I start down a journey of doing my own research? And when
Mm.
I did,
Mm.
I discovered people that had overcome it. Matthew Embry, Tracy Hill, Janine Troutman, David Lyons, all these people that are now our friends
Hmm.
that I had the pleasure that led me. So it goes into that adage. When the student is ready, the teacher will appear. So I don't know if I was ready. I don't know if I completely
This
surrendered.
has come up a lot in these interviews of,
Mhm.
I call them, in my book, I call them messengers and
Mm,
benefactors. Like when you are starting to listen to your inner voice, your inner
mhm.
genius, there are the people who come along, the resources that come along to support you. And you said something so important, Matt, that I just want to, pull out, which is the way I'll say it is, I'm going to ask listeners for, like, again, whatever you're thinking about, whether it's health, whether it's a, career, marriage, whatever, are you
Whatever.
going to listen to a quote expert, a worldly expert? Are you going to trust and listen to an expert? Or are you going to trust and listen to your soul, your spirit, your God, your love, your heart? Because no expert knows the journey you're on. No expert in
Right.
this on this planet knows what's possible for you. And Matt, you're
Mhm.
such a good example of that. And I just knowing a little bit about your work, or even like going to your website. I was just telling you before, like, you see this guy and he has so much heart and so much love and so
Mhm.
much richness. I just felt healed looking at you. So it doesn't surprise me of these are so short, and I want to hear more, and we may do a longer conversation. Is there just
Yes.
something quick that maybe you want to say about trusting yourself, or maybe something you'd want to say to a younger self about trusting yourself?
Choose your heart.
Mm,
Love. Love is the ultimate trust we can always have. Love never lies for us. Love is the truth. Love is who you are. That's the right side of the river.
mm,
When we step towards love, different things will start showing up for you. Maybe your walking will improve if you're having walking issues due to a dis-ease. The
mm.
disruption within your body comes back into balance with love, not with fear,
Yes.
not with more doing. It's about being,
Mm, beautiful. That's
trusting your own essence of being.
Oh, yes. I love that. I love that. Thank you so much for being
You're
with
so
us.
welcome.
Thank you so much for your walk on this. Thank you. Thank you. And thank you if you've watched us. Thank you so much for being here. I will remind you again that one of the things I often say in learning to trust yourself too, and that's such a great example of this, is that your way may be off the map. Your way may be off the map, but it's also off the charts. So
Oh,
thank you
love
for
it.
joining us. Thank you, Matt. Thank you, everybody. See you
Welcome.
later.